found that the bee was missing from the container. The two men knew that the expression instantly froze up. This is the end of several people began to search everywhere in the night. Several people turned the house over several times, still did not find. Suddenly Black Long Straight thought of something. She said Mary's bag is here to let go. The doctor heard immediately checked the table. Oh my goodness, sure enough found some pollen. This made Mary's friend Mike immediately panic. It can't be such a coincidence. On the other hand, Mary had all This is a terrifying ancient artifact. The woman was curious and picked it up, and her finger accidentally touched the button. It activated the switch inside, released the ancient golden demon wasp. At this moment, Mary did not know that she had made a big trouble. She was still chatting happily with her friend, and at that moment, the steel door of the container opened. The demon wasp popped out. As Mary's fat ass hit the door, the demon bee fell into her bag. Just like that, the bee slowly woke up in Mary's bag. After Mary left, Doctor immediately found that the bee was missing from the container. The two men knew that the expression instantly froze up. This is the end of the several people began to search everywhere in the night. Several people turned the house over several times, still did not find. Suddenly Black Long Straight thought of something. She said Mary's bag is here to let go. The doctor heard immediately checked the table. Oh my goodness, sure enough found some pollen. This made Mary's friend Mike immediately panic. It can't be such a coincidence. On the other hand, Mary had already returned home with her school bag. She heard the phone ringing. Mary started rummaging through her bag for her phone. She was almost stunned by a demon bee. After answering the phone, she put the phone back again. It happened to be on the bumblebee. Mary's boyfriend came up to her. Mary hurriedly gave him the wedding ring. Then she started to feel around again. Finally, the demon bee made a force, stabbed Mary hard. Mary thought she had hit a nail, so did not pay much attention to. The result was that in less than 3 seconds, finger turned red. Mary found her bridesmaids, asked them to help see what happened. I didn't realize that the finger had magic powers. Just touching the finger, the expression immediately froze up. Hello?
I'll get you Band-Aid. Triple antibiotic, you need triple antibiotic.
Now you see that it's plain in sight. They tell us these things, man. They tell us these things. You feel me? Plain in sight. They tell us this. To find some more, man. I'm a TikTok wild. TikTok be having a lot of stuff, man. Let me go lie. I like TikTok, but they be having a lot of stuff. Yes, they do, man. Let's see,
Hello everyone, I'm finally making my wax video.
Have y'all ever heard of the Philippi mummy? Have y'all ever heard of the Philippi mummies here in Philippi, West Virginia? I'm going to show y'all a picture of them. TikTok, please don't take this down. These are preserved mummies that are in a museum. If I mess up any dates or times, I apologize. I'm just going off memory. In 1888, a man named Graham Hamrick, who I believe was a mortician, was obsessed with preservation. He invented a concoction and began preserving fruits and vegetables. Graham wanted to see if his concoction would preserve human corpses. Yes, human corpses. So he purchased 2 deceased, unclaimed females from the insane asylum here in West Virginia for $140. Allegedly, this lady right here was an overweight elderly woman that he got from the insane asylum. Now, no one knows her name or anything about her. This was a 17-year-old girl that had passed away. Nobody knows her name or anything about her. None of their families had came to claim their bodies. The only thing that I know about this girl is that when she died, there was a letter with her that was writing to her husband, pretty much asking him why he hadn't came to see her in the insane asylum. And sadly, she passed away at 17. Like I said, nobody came to claim their bodies, and this is how they end up. These mummies went on tour, I believe, to Europe and Asia in some sort of a circus show for several years. They wound up back here in West Virginia, and the story goes that some random guy in the 60s had these stored under his bed, and there was apparently a baby corpse that was mummified with them. But we had a bad flood here, I believe it was 1985, and it washed them out. And the story goes that these were really waterlogged and really damaged, but apparently, from what everybody's telling me, the baby got washed away, and these two mummies, the female mummies, were actually like set up at the post office, and they let them air dry, and they had a bunch of mold on them, and somebody gave them some sort of a concoction to clean them, and then they stored them here at the museum in Philippi. A few people were obviously upset about this, and they wanted these ladies to have a proper burial, but now they're at the museum, and they've been preserved now for over 100 and some years. No one knows what concoction that this gentleman came up with, and his wishes were to be preserved as well, but no one blessed his wishes. They actually buried him right down the road here, and I plan on going this weekend or next to the museum, and I'll show you guys what I see.
Damn.
And I also plan on visiting his gravesite, which is right down the road from me. I hope you guys enjoy the story. I find it to be very interesting. Stuff like this, in my opinion, is just... It's amazing. But I will admit that I feel sorry that these ladies had to pass away in this insane asylum. Nobody knows anything about them. Nobody knows their story. I do think that's kind of heartbreaking. And also, nobody claimed their bodies. I would have liked to know who they were and what their life story was. Have y'all ever heard of the Philippi mummies here in Philippi, West Virginia? I'm going to show y'all a picture of them. TikTok, please don't take this down. These are preserved mummies that are in a museum. If I mess up any dates or...
That's just crazy. This, they show you how harsh the world can be. Show you how harsh people can be against you. Because this could be one of your family members. They ain't even getting a proper burial, no name, no nothing. That's crazy.